everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of Shit Your Pants Wednesday. We've been going a long time, but we are back, and we are better than ever. Or at least, that's what we think. I am your host, Matt Sunner, and joining me, as always, is my good friend and the creator of the DJB Productions Network, Mr. Danny J himself. Danny, what's up?
Hey, what's up? What's going on, peoples?
And then also joining us for the first time on Shit Your Pants Wednesday, a good friend of ours, Jason Leach.
Hey, good to see everybody. Hey, boys and girls.
You
Get ready to shit your pants.
Shit your pants, because it's Shit Your Pants Wednesday. You can also see Jason with us on a few of our other shows here on DJB Productions Network, most notably tonight's TV lineup. If you haven't seen that, go into our playlists. Find that and check that out. We're talking about old TV shows. We've got a couple episodes in there, and we're going to get back into production on that real soon, too. But the reason we're here, Shit Your Pants Wednesday, we're going to be talking about the new Disney Plus limited special presentation, I guess is actually how they refer to it.
Exactly.
But Werewolf by Night. This was cool.
I can't say enough about this. And it gives me the best of both worlds because not only am I getting a comic book movie of sorts, but I'm also getting horror, and they did it so perfectly. They did it in the paying homage to the Universal monsters. This is a black and white feature. This is a feature that just screams Lon Chaney Jr. It just screams like all those Universal monsters, and I was like glued to the TV.
I mean, and even down to the title sequences.
Yes,
you felt you were watching a movie from like the 30s and 40s,
exactly,
because it was all the right typesets, and it looked like it was just a 4K version of a movie that's 60 years old, 60 plus years old.
Yeah,
and it was awesome, great vibe to it.
I had no expectations. I did not know the characters. I knew that it was somehow tied to Moon Knight. And I'd love that to be like super pleased with something that I had like no intentions of even liking. I just because it was Marvel, I checked it out, and I was really pleasantly surprised.
I checked it out. Danny suggested it to me as we were talking about, again, getting back to it. And he said, I think this would be a great one. Have you watched it yet? It's like, I'm not familiar with it. So, again, I was kind of walking into it blind. Again, zero expectations. And it was just so cool.
And you know what, too?
Great vibe.
Here's the cool thing about it, though. As we get older, we look for convenience. And, it's 45 minutes. So it's a quick watch. And what Disney Plus is doing, or I should say not Disney Plus per se, but what Marvel's doing, rather than do 8, 9, 10, 12 episode length series, which are basically almost production-wise almost like 2 movies in a sense. In production. And they do not skimp on the production of these series.
No, they don't. Not at all.
Rather than do that for every character, which not every character, not to give disrespect, deserves that kind of treatment in a sense. So for introduction of characters, they said, let's do this special presentation. And we remember as kids, special presentations like back on CBS.
Yeah.
This is a special presentation. It was like a movie, a Sunday night movie or something like that. And that's what they were going for in that sense. There are words that they're going to be doing stuff like Silver Surfer, and other characters that are major/minor characters, just to get them introduced. That way you can then bring them into the MCU however you want, be it in a partner up film or something like that. Now, granted, this is Shit Your Pants Wednesday. We talk about horror, which is why we're talking about Werewolf by Night. The Werewolf by Night, if you do not know, it's based on the Midnight Suns, which is the dark universe of Marvel in a sense. You have Blade, Ghost Rider, our werewolf, who is Jack, and Man-Thing, who is the Marvel version of Swamp Thing, and other dark characters, which I think is an untapped resource per se when it comes to Marvel. Like, we've seen superheroes at the wazoo.
Yeah.
Now it's time to see other comic book heroes that do different things. I love monsters myself. Not I love horror, but I love monsters. And
Yeah.
this gives you that boom, this major punch to your face in 45 minutes, and I love it.
It was when you mentioned to me that this was 45 minutes long, I'm thinking how what
How
can
could
they
it
really
be?
give me in 45 minutes?
Yeah, they give you a lot.
And they do because
Yeah.
they don't waste time.
Mm-mm.
It was great pacing in it,
Yes, it was.
it was like they kind of gave you this quick introduction, but they didn't
Yes.
dwell on anybody too long because
Yes.
they were important
Yes.
but to the story, but not important in the grand scheme of things,
Right.
So it was like they brought you right in, and it was just you get in there, and I said, and the horror aspect of it
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, once they actually, limbs being severed, and just it was.
And understand it's
I don't want to say too much because if anybody hasn't seen it, I want them to
right.
see it. But the horror aspect is there. Blood is flying. It's awesome.
And let me precursor this, and I say this again, like it's a huge homage to the Universal monsters of back in the day, the stuff that I grew up watching.
Yeah.
One of
Frankenstein, Mummy, the Wolfman, Dracula,
and the Wolfman to this day is still my favorite Universal monster. My favorite Universal monster movie. Lon Chaney Jr. was amazing in that. I love the film. I love the remake with Benicio del Toro.
Oh yeah,
that was
Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins.
It's one of my favorites. And when I heard the Universal Monster universe was coming, and granted, unfortunately, it got defunct, but like we had such great entries into this Universal Monsters thing. We had the Wolfman, the remake, which I said, if you're going to start this off, start it off with that. That's great. We've had a good one with the guy that plays Professor X, Victor Frankenstein. That was a decent film. If you watch it, it was a decent film. But then we also have Dracula Untold, which is another great movie. The Mummy with Tom Cruise. I'm not a huge mummy guy anyway. Even dating back to the ones with Boris Karloff and I never was like into them anyway. So the Mummy kind of falls short on me anyway. I thought it was an okay film. Unfortunately, that's where they tried to start it off with that, and I think that's where unfortunately it went bad.
What I liked about that was that it was supposed to be a springboard into this whole Monsters universe. And like so they introduced Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll. So you knew what was coming down the road if it all worked out. And I was excited for it. But the Mummy movie it just fell flat.
It just fell flat. Yeah.
I actually thought that Tom Cruise was trying to emulate Brendan Fraser.
I mean, the Brendan Fraser Mummy was action adventure, very Indiana Jones like, lighthearted in a sense, where this was really trying to take itself seriously.
Yeah,
right.
And
I just didn't buy Cruise in that. I think they really they were looking for somebody with star power, and they needed somebody who could really sell the horror aspect of it.
And you know what? He was the same fucking character in War of the Worlds that he was
essentially.
You know, he was the same jerk off in that movie. So I was like, whatever, and so getting back to Werewolf by Night, we are now able to get back to that in a sense. Now they're not going down a monster universe. We're not getting Universal Monsters universe or anything like that, unfortunately. And I'm very disappointed by that. But Werewolf by Night delivered me something that I really connected with as a child, which as a guy in his late 40s, I'm like, this is great. I've been jonesing for something like this. And when we said horror, it's not necessarily scary. Okay. It's classic horror. There are some jump scares here and there, but it's not horror in a sense. It's not scary. It's horror themed, and it's a lot of action. it is a comic book movie as a sense.
Yeah.
I think being in black and white cinematically made it better.
Yeah, and
You know what I mean?
and with
It's
little
really
hints
good.
of color
Yeah.
to really highlight certain things,
Yeah.
which was great. Which
Yeah.
I mean, I love that when it's being done. So I mean, it was like here is stuff that you want that old school
Yeah.
30s 40s 50 early 50s horror movie and monster movie vibe to it. But at the same time, certain things we're going to accentuate this.
Right.
So we need to have this in color because then too it gives it a little extra pop.
Yes.
And it just it breaks it all up so it doesn't feel stale.
Yeah.
In a sense,
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like you're watching what you've already seen in these classic movies. You're seeing something different. It's modernized, and it's just really it was beautifully done.
It was.
Yeah. And I
love the fact that he's actually. I'm sorry, Jason. Go ahead.
Sorry. I think it had to be in black and white for Disney to be able to go to that level of gore and violence and be able to get away with it.
Yeah.
A la Kill Bill, the scene with the 99 crazies, whatever they call them, or 88 crazies, because there was so much blood and gore that they were gonna make it rated NC-17. So I think they kind of took a little note from that, and Disney knew that they couldn't get away with having a Marvel show or series, whatever, with that much gore in it.
Well, look at Psycho. Because Psycho worked because it was black and white.
Yeah.
And Psycho came out in the age of color. It was shot in black and white for that reason, so that they could go that extra mile. And
because it's not seen, it's suggested.
It's suggested.
You know exactly what it is,
right?
But you're not seeing it. It's that suggestion in the back of your mind without it being your screen is covered in red.
I know what that's supposed to be. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Not to mention you can also get away with save some money on the effects because you don't have to make it look real because it's going to be in black and white.
Right.
It gives you a lot more leeway with what you use for your medium.
Now let's talk about effects for a second. First of all, we get Man-Thing is in this.
Yeah, and he's cool because I've never seen Man-Thing. I love that character. I looked at him, and I was like, he is so fucking cool looking.
He's great. For those of you who don't, Ted. He's Ted.
He goes by Ted.
For those of you who don't know who Man-Thing is, if you're familiar with Swamp Thing, which is a dramatically more popular character on the DC side, Man-Thing is the Marvel version of Swamp Thing. Okay, very similar backstory. He's a botanist or something like that. Something happens with an experiment, and he turns into Man-Thing, and now he's they don't even call him like an environmental or whatever, whatever it is. But like that's basically it. He's Marvel's version of Swamp Thing, but it goes by Ted. and
his power is cool. His power was cool.
Yes.
When he first when he offs that first guy, he just like grabs him by his head, and I'm like, again, I don't want to say it because I want people to watch this and see it, and they're just going like, oh holy shit! I was expecting one thing, and what actually happened was so totally different, and it was like that was awesome.
And then awesome. And then we get Jack. Now Jack's our werewolf. Jack is our werewolf. He is Man-Thing's friend, and basically, to give you a quick synopsis, is that Jack, not infiltrated per se, but Jack is going in as a monster hunter, and he's going into this league, this almost like cult type meeting of monster hunters, and they're after monsters. They have trophies on the walls. We see when you watch it. Different monsters and stuff like that, and they're all different likes. They're different likes of monster hunters that are in there. And there's a ninja guy. There's a girl with blades. There's a guy who's a Scottish dude.
Yeah, he's like.
They really they were dramatically individualized,
like Viking type
guy. Yeah. So like they're not all the same. You get a different monster hunter with his different, like very comic book like.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Their preferred weaponry. And
exactly.
It's,
and we get Jack. Jack comes in here. Jack's very small in comparison to everybody else. And we're like, well, what's up with Jack? Why? How could Jack be so? Like even the girl was bigger than Jack. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. And the thing. And then you later find out he's a werewolf and blah blah blah. And that's where the intrigue and you get the M. Night Shyamalan. What a twist! And the Man Thing looked great. Getting back to the effects as a werewolf, and I love that they did it like this. Like there's always a cool werewolf when you see a werewolf that's like a big dude and he's got this dog head. That's kind of classic. But this was more in line with the Universal monsters, and you
the old school.
him.
He's a wolf man.
It's almost the best way I could describe it wasn't even like Lon Chaney, but was more like Jack Nicholson in Wolf.
Yes.
Where you still see his human features, but he's hairy. And he's got fangs, and it was, and the way
the bone structure changes where it's like it's no longer distinctly it's no longer dog, but it's like that mix.
Yeah, it's not Jack either.
The eyebrows are just very and it's like the cheekbone. It's like everything. Like I said, it's just, when you see it, you'll know it. Yeah, but like we said, we're so used to seeing werewolves being wolf. We're not used to seeing wolfmen anymore. And that's exactly it. Right. It's a wolf man. His claws, he's completely hairy, he's got the fangs, but he's still bipedal.
And you know what though, which is cool too? You get a little bit of folklore. Not necessarily like it's just little nuances of folklore that sit there, like he tells the one person, look me in the eyes. I need to get he sniffs her and he's like, I need to get your scent. I need you to look me. Don't ever break eye contact with me because that's the only way you're going to see me as a human. That's the only way my human side's going to see you. Otherwise, you're dead. You know what I mean? Like that was just so cool that there's these little things that he's like, you can get.
He's a monster, but he doesn't. He knows I'm a werewolf. And again,
but he knows it.
Yeah, and he when the full moon comes, he locks himself in a room.
Yeah.
He locks himself away.
He can't control it, but he can direct it, and that's
exactly.
That's kind of like what you get from it is that he can direct this curse, but he can't control it. So he knows how to. He knows how you say find the loophole. He has the loopholes in place. He knows what to do, which I think is awesome. In that, and you get that too, guys. You definitely want to see this. It's a great Shit Your Pants Wednesday, and it's short. It's only 45 minutes. It's a great feature, and if you're a fan of the Universal monsters, you're going to love this.
Yes,
they did such a great presentation, and I really, above anything that Disney has done, Marvel has done recently in the last 20 years, and got the whole MCU I'm talking about. This was such a creative project. It was so refreshing, and it was just so amazingly good. And I'm just looking forward to more Midnight Sun type action as they bring Blade into the MCU. They're going to bring where Jack and Man-Thing are going to team up with Moon Knight and these other dark characters. And I think that's just like to get away from the big group, your Captain America, your Iron Man, your Black Widow, etc. I want to have these characters, and don't go cheesy. Like, that Eternals, or what was that? The Eternals. Hated the movie. Hated that movie. Couldn't stand it because I hated all of them. I wish they all died in the movie, and half of them did. Yeah, bless you. But like you get that at the end, you get like the Black Knight, and I'm like, Kevin Feige, I realize you want to dig deep and give us some obscure characters here and there. Screw him too. I don't want Black Knight. I want Werewolf by Night. I want Man-Thing. I want Blade. I want Ghost Rider. These are the characters I want, and you just give me movies or series, whatever you want, based on them, and I'm all about it, dude. I'm telling you, it's a great thing.
And if they kind of keep this format where it's a short form, it almost allows them to give us more by giving us less.
Yeah, in a way,
in random installments.
It really does.
Because then it's like I'm not going to get tired of the character.
Exactly.
You're not going to play that. You're going to give me 45 minutes of Jack as, Werewolf by Night. And then eventually, you're going to give me a little bit of Ghost Rider. You're going to give me a little bit of this. Eventually, then maybe you're going to throw them all in a movie and you're going to give me an hour and a half, 2-hour movie, But then all of a sudden, now I'm going to, all right, now the next thing I see is going to be another short little, mini adventure or, mini story of this. It's not going to be this grand, epic whatever.
It's not going to take 10, 15 years to get to the end result. Exactly.
Yeah. And you're going to give me, you're going to kind of pop in and out of these characters' lives. And, sometimes less is more.
It is.
Keep me wanting more. Keep me wanting more. Instead of feeling like I have to watch something else because I don't want to lose where I'm at.
I can't say enough about Werewolf by Night. I love it. I watched it twice just based on my schedule. I would have watched it more if I could. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I could have went for another half hour, honestly, because the story was so intriguing that they were doing. I thought it was really cool that there was a monster invading the monster hunters and was trying to protect his own and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's just such a great story. Guys, this show, as you know, is by trade is usually a very short show. We're giving you a little brief interlude as to what we want you to watch on Wednesday night. Because remember, Shit Your Pants Wednesday. We created it 25 years ago.
God, has it been that long, Danny?
A little bit longer, actually. Basically, if you haven't remembered, I'll tell you the story real quick. When my wife and I got married and we weren't going out to clubs anymore as much, we sat at home one night and it was a Wednesday night. We went to a video store. They used to have VHS tapes, these big plastic things with tape in them. And we used to put it in the VCR.
For all you youngins out there.
Yeah. And we put it in the VCR and we watched. And the first movie we watched was Jack Frost, the Killer Snowman. And we had friends over and we got pizza and cheesesteaks. And we made fun of this movie. It was a funny movie. Actually, it was a horror movie. It was a funny movie. We made fun of it. And we said, oh, but this was so much fun. Let's do it again next week. And we got another movie and another movie after that. And we did Shit Your Pants Wednesday is what it became. And so, on the network here, I said, Matt, what a great show idea to bring this back and get this out to the public and so on and so forth. So, guys, this is what we want you to do. Wednesday nights, you pick a horror movie. It doesn't matter if it's good, bad, or indifferent. Don't go for like Jason and Freddy Krueger and stuff like that. Go for something obscure. Go for something just crazy. Black and white. Go for anything. Budget it, low budget, whatever. If you watch these episodes, we have a couple of suggestions.
Almost, if you look at the cover art and say that looks interesting, even because again, if
it might suck. We don't know.
Yeah, who cares? especially now too.
I'm gonna lie.
With all the streaming options that you can watch stuff even for free or for like low cost. Pick a movie that you've never seen. If it costs $3.99 to rent it, and rent it for the $3.99, you might either say this is the worst movie I've ever seen, and that's $4 I'm never going to get back.
No, in our All Things Geek playlist here on the DJB Productions Network, you'll go to the Shit Your Pants Wednesday episodes. Many of them, I'm a huge werewolf guy. I love werewolves, and I found multiple werewolf movies because of streaming. Nowadays, this is stuff that wasn't in the movie theater, or at least not when I knew it was around in the movie theater. And so we have all these great options and great movies that are just like, wow, what a gem, as me and Matt like to say, so on and so forth. What a gem. Okay. Now, before we go, and I give the reins back to Matt, and Matt gets us out of here. Big, huge news for Shit Your Pants Wednesday and a couple other shows as well. We now are going to be have the ability to do some live viewing. And what I mean by that is this. We are going to be setting up where Matt, Jason, myself, here on Shit Your Pants Wednesday are going to be able to screen different horror movies live right here on the channel. And you'll be able to watch it with us, and we're going to provide commentary. Now, it could be funny, it could be positive, it could be negative, whatever the case is. We're not going to just show great movies. We're going to watch whatever movies we want to watch, and we're going to put them on here.
Be obscure. It's going to be obscure.
We are going to give you the Shit Your Pants Wednesday experience that we had in a lonely little apartment in Pennsylvania. Okay, that's what we're gonna do.
We this is so exciting for us. Before we started recording, we were testing the concept, and it's working. It's just going to be so cool. You can find out at the same time we do whether or not it's complete shit. It's so bad it's good, and you're going to laugh your ass off. Exactly. One that we will tell you right now. Again, Danny said go back into our previous episodes.
Yes.
If you're going to start any of our, if this is the first time you're seeing Shit Your Pants Wednesday, the second episode you should ever watch is the one we talk about the movie Killer Sofa.
Yes.
And you'll see exactly what we mean.
Exactly.
This movie we stumbled across, and we watched it, and it was so bad. Yeah. But it was great because you're laughing your ass off through the whole thing. And it's like going, I might watch it again because it sucked, but I got to see that again.
Sometimes when you shit your pants, it ain't because you got scared. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah. We're super excited.
As you see right down below there, right below Jason there, it says the www.djbproductionsnetwork.com. That's how you get right to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Share the channel to your friends. Hit the notification bell. You'll be notified anytime a new episode comes up. Keep in mind, the unique thing about the DJB Productions Network is that we have multiple playlists of all different genres and entertainment. We have this under geek stuff along with Capes Not Included. We have pro wrestling. We have music and other special interests. We have comedy on here as well. So it's a multifaceted channel. It's not like any other YouTube channel out there. And I'm very proud of everybody that we have that works on this network with me. And they made my dreams come true, which is just fantastic. So guys, check it out. Shit Your Pants Wednesday, making a huge comeback with some great stuff. We're going to be doing viewings. We're going to have more movies for you to watch every Wednesday night. Just flick on the thing, get some popcorn, get a cheesesteak, get some pizza, sit down and say, oh my God, why am I in on a Wednesday night? Because it's a Shit Your Pants Wednesday. You tell your friends, and that's what it is. So guys, I'm just telling you, we got so much stuff to do. It's just awesome. I'm just so happy about it.
And good content coming.
The big thing, and truly, about Shit Your Pants Wednesday, it's not about the movie. Everybody, it's not about the movie.
No.
Do not watch these movies by yourself. Invite your friends over.
Right.
It's all about, again,
And if you don't have friends, this is a great opportunity for you to make friends.
Exactly.
Invite if you're at the water cooler Monday morning, say, hey, what are you doing Wednesday?
But truly, it's a great way to break up the monotony of the week. Middle of the week, it's hump day. Hey, Monday and Tuesday maybe sucked. I got Thursday and Friday coming ahead of me. And, it's just a good way to break it up. Get you through to your weekend. And again, it's all about just sharing that experience with people you care about and making those memories together. Whether it be, you remember that time we watched that movie that we never heard about and it was so great, or that time we watched that movie and, oh God, did it suck? Or, man, it was cheesy as hell and we laughed our ass off through the whole thing.
Not so bad.
It's that shared experience, which, again, even especially after, coming out of, a pandemic where a lot of us were locked. This is what's important in life. Having that human connection, getting the people you care about most in a room, and just having a good time. So we're hoping you're going to do it with cheesy and lesser-known horror movies.
And you know what? We always invite you down in the comments below.
Yeah.
If there's any movie that we haven't talked about that you would like us to, or a movie that you recommend that you're like, hey, you know what? I found this hidden gem talking about what you guys are talking about, and I love this. Put it down in the comments below.
Because we want to see it.
Yeah, we want to see it. We'll talk about it right here on the show. We'll watch it. We watch everything that we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't lying. We do.
Yep.
Right here on the channel. So guys, remember, it's DJB Productions Network. Subscribe button down below. Hit that notification bell. Leave us some comments. Let us know what you think. And by all means, guys, get your cheesesteak and get everything and get ready to shit your pants on Wednesday.
And if you live somewhere where you can't get cheesesteaks, I feel so sorry for you.
Jason is always ready to shit his pants. That's why he loved the show. He thought it was like a
shit in my pants.
Jason thought this was a support group. It turns out that it's actually a podcast show.
I'm wearing my Depends right now.
Right now. Sponsored by Depends, you know. No, we're not sponsored by Depends.
No.
I wish I could. What an amazing thing if I got sponsored by Depends. This show would go skyrocket.
Maybe we should email them. Maybe we need to email them.
Hey, we need
get
to
on that. Get on that show creator, network creator. Yeah. Get on that. Get on the stick.
I make a lot of contacts when I should be working, you know.
But anyway, but again, thanks for joining us here on Shit Your Pants Wednesday. We're so excited to get the show back up and running again, and look forward to bringing you a lot of great content. So keep tuning us in.
Yeah,
we'll hope to have you back. So for myself, Matt Sunner, my man Danny J, Jason Leach, have yourself a great time. And can you smell that?
Can you smell that? I smell something.
Sorry.
Oh.